Jace Luzerne from Gridiron Football. We're at our third annual Gridiron Football Media Day, held at our office in Denham Springs. Appreciate G.R. Griffin, Mr. Greg Griffin, for sponsoring our event this year. Here with St. John head football coach, family friend of ours as well, Bryan Troxclair, Coach Tro, we like to always call him. So, Coach, I believe this is your second full year, right? As third full year as St. John head football coach. So, yeah, talk about last year, 2024. Y'all had some highs and lows, but talk about last year before we get to 2025.
Last year, year two of the program, I really felt like we had some things, big changes as far as how things ran. We had our schedule got a little bit tougher. We had 2 or 3 games that we were in it in the fourth quarter, but we just quite didn't finish like we wanted to. But I felt like as a whole, the team got better. We started competing at a higher level. Competition got raised, and our guys never backed down from the challenge, and persevered, and you're really starting to see the guard shift on the way the program we want it to be. We ended up making the playoffs, and we ended up getting matched up with Hamilton Christian, who we played in the regular season, and it was a difficult matchup. They have a really good quarterback, but we fought and we have a lot of guys coming back and a lot of things to look forward to for the 2025 football season.
Absolutely, Coach. A playoff appearance last year was really great. Trying to bring that tradition back to St. John, and you've been part of that as a player. Being part of that state championship team. Yeah. So let's talk about the guys you brought here with me today. The guys that you're trying to help bring back that culture. The 4 guys you brought here today.
I brought back first off our quarterback Tyler Edwards. He's a guy that. 3-sport athlete, actually 4-sport athlete, and he's a guy that he's not going to set off the scale when he pops on it, and he's not the tallest guy, but he plays with a lot of heart and grit, and kind of what St. John embodies. He's also going to contribute a lot on defense. Looking forward to that. Next guy we brought up is named Jordan Dorsey. He's a defensive back for us. Tremendous heart, plays hard, plays physical. Has probably had the biggest growth of all of our players we've had since the beginning of the year, since when I started. His sophomore year, to where he is now, tremendous improvement. And I'm excited to see him as a senior out there and kind of leading that defensive backfield, and as well playing a little bit of running back. Next up, we have Cole Markins. He's a senior linebacker for us. Cole's been another program guy. We'll do anything I ask him to do, when you have guys like that, that's what helps breed the success of the program. And hard worker. He spends a lot of time with me because I actually coach him in golf. So he's going to anchor that linebacker core and be very vital to the success. And last, I brought senior offensive lineman James Clark. I remember the first time I ever saw James, I saw so much potential, and through the years we had our ups and downs, but last year he really turned it on, and he was probably one of our most physical, demanding linemen we had, and just, I'm expecting him to kind of anchor down that offensive line for us and possibly play a little D-line and, kind of set the stage for what's to come, at the end of the day, we want our program to be physical, and he kind of embodies that, so.
Absolutely, Coach, and let's talk about the guys that that aren't here today. They're going to be big-time contributors for y'all this season.
I would say our fullback, Nathan Burley. Nathan was our bell cow last year. A lot of times in some tough games, he got those 3 or 4 yards when we needed them, as well as when we needed to open up some holes for our other running backs. Next up, I would probably say Ahmad Wilson. Ahmad's going to be a junior for us. Running back athlete. I think he averaged like 7 or 8 yards a carry last year. A lot of that I would say was the offensive line, a little bit of him. But I feel like he's really going to be a big contributor for this year. Also, Maddox Quibido, our tight end. He's probably going to play a little bit of defensive line for us this year. But he brings a physical presence at that tight end position, as well as the athleticism to go out there and run some routes. As a whole, I think we have a lot of juniors that have a chance to really step up and make a contribution to the football program. Patrick Bush, Landon Daigle, Daniel Bro. I could sit here and name I mean, our junior class is probably the biggest class we have, and I think we're sitting at 12, 13 in that class, and you know, it's pretty big for a 1A level.
Sure.
So a lot of those guys have been contributing since they were freshmen. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ahmad went to our camp this year and performed really well, so it was like he's going to have a good season as well. Coach, let's talk about just an overall standpoint, offense and defense, and what you expect from an overall standpoint.
Okay, so offensively, we run the wing T. We're going into year 3 of it, and you know, it's not the most complicated offense, but it's built on misdirection. You know, we have an old saying that we say, I learned this a long, long time ago from the late Rick Gailey. It's a lot easier to fool them than it is to block them, you know. And so the kids hear me say that all the time. And, you know, so our offense is built on that misdirection. And when we use misdirection, we want to be physical. You know, whether it's the offensive line, the running backs, fullbacks, everybody who touches the ball or doesn't touch the ball has to be physical. And then when we have those opportunities, we love to use play action and have those wide open shots whenever we're ready. Defensively, we've kind of making a little bit of a change. We're transitioning to a 3-4 defense. You know, plan on minimizing what we do and trying to be a little bit more fresher. You know, running some things that maybe you might see. You know, some things that I think we can improve on defensively, and making sure we concentrate on getting to where we need to be and being physical when we get there. You know. And that's kind of what we've kind of done this offseason. So
yeah, for sure. Talk about the schedule coming up, non-district and the district opponents that will be playing against this year.
Okay, so we open up the year with Hanson, and it's always a good rivalry with us. You know, they're always a tough opponent. Then we play Springfield. We didn't get a chance to play Springfield last year. It was canceled from the hurricane. And then we play Haynes Academy, Haynes Academy had a really, really good year last year. A lot of their kids coming back. We play Hamilton again, third time in 2 years. They have a really good quarterback, really, really good quarterback. And, you know, their team dynamic is very similar to us with numbers. And then we play Covenant Christian. And Covenant Christian also had a very good year last year. You know, I think all in all, you know, our pre-district, the reason why we play in these tough teams is to prepare us for our district. Our district's very competitive, and you know, I wanted to play a pre-district game, a pre-district season that kind of helped shape that. So
yeah, we'll talk about the coaches that help you. One of those coaches I'm very familiar with, but talk about the coaches that will be helping you this season.
Okay, so I actually had a chance to pick up your dad, Ron Lejeune. He's going to be helping me with the offense, and you know, we go back years coaching together at Plaquemine. You know, he's a good guy, and you know, he actually graduated from St. John, so we got a little bit of tie.
He does.
I have an offensive line coach named Jeffrey Jordan. He's had some stints at some other local schools. Coached offensive line in college. He brings a lot to the table. Recently hired Logan Rodriguez. Logan played at St. John in the 2018-17 years. Has a lot of passion. He's been at Nichols as like a student coach, helping out over there. I have Big John Barbie. I don't know if you remember John. John, big help for us. You know, he's always helped me. We were able to get him on last year to help with the defensive line, and I'm really excited the things he brings to the table. We also have Shelby Hemingway, who started this year with us. He played football at McNeese. He graduated from St. John. So, you know, we have a lot of guys with some local ties, and, you know, that's very important to us. We have another guy named Darian Cook. He coaches our receivers. He actually played receiver at Nicholls State. So, you know, it's good to have those guys with those college ties, you know.
Oh, it does. It really helps, and it shows the kids they have something to aim for because of those guys with college experience. And finally, Coach, just wrap the interview up because you're a St. John guy. You played for a state championship team at St. John, and, you know, you're definitely familiar with the culture and building that culture back in year 3. So what's your message to Eagles fans, why they should be excited about buying tickets and supporting y'all this season?
Yeah, so, you know, one of the big things is, you know, we're kind of been talking about changing the tide. You know, it's time. You know, our kids know how to practice. They know how to lift. They know how to play. You know, now it's just time for us to do it. And, you know, it's going to happen this year. With this core group of seniors that I have, without a doubt in my mind, you know, this is going to be the year to kind of change the culture. So,
Absolutely, Coach. You're doing a fantastic job with the program. Keep it up,
Appreciate
Coach.
it. Thank you,
Always.
man.
Here's a magazine, free magazine on us too. And the next magazine you're definitely going to like because we have a season preview on the St. John Eagles and our next preview magazine. So, Eagles fans, you want to buy your copy, get your football fix on the St. John Eagles, and make sure to go to our website, gridironfootballusa.com. Can't wait to see what the 2025 Eagles have in store after a playoff finish in 2024.
Thank you.
All right, Coach. Absolutely.
Thank you.
For sure. So, guys, that's how it's done. Now it's y'all turn.